So I wanted to have a conversation about health, self-care, um, especially in the light of that there's an article that came out exposing the fact that we will be about 80,000 healthcare workers by the year 2033. I think will be short that many healthcare workers, which do include nursing. And as many of you know, I am in this in the nursing profession. So I also wanted to orient you to a YouTuber who is Canadian, who does a lot of politics. He discusses a lot of articles that come up, and his name is Boots on the Ground, and he had a couple of interesting, very good sessions of he was talking about Ford and about what we're doing with healthcare workers, and then he was actually answering a very interesting question. One that was saying that a lot of the nurses and a lot of the professional healthcare workers, they actually take nursing as a profession because it is sort of like a noble profession, that it is actually something that we don't take because we want money, is because we take because we are, it's more of a goal, it's more of our true call. Now, while I have to tell you from the personal level that might be true, I love nursing, I love what I do, I have to say that regardless of what you do, whether you do love it or not, you do have to earn a living, earn enough to be able to self-care and be able to continue to do what we do. Now, I don't want to go very much into the politics aspect of it. I mean, if nursing is our true calling, absolutely, but getting a little getting what we do, like getting paid enough for us to have a living in which we can continue to support, I think is very important, especially about the type of work we do every day. Now, where does self-care come in terms of what we do to self-care in order to be able to actually do our work? Well, this is closer related to weight loss, actually. The reason why I'm bringing this up in terms of weight loss is because when I was doing nursing and I was heavy, and I wasn't taking care of myself, I wasn't prioritizing me, I was just taking care of patients and taking care of everything in terms of my profession and the kids. I think because I wasn't prioritizing me, the burden of care continued to increase. Because the burden of care continued to increase, I didn't have an outlet. I didn't have people to help me. Therapists do need therapists. So nurses do need someone or something to give them that outlet. What I found when I was while I was going through therapy was obviously having someone to talk to, not necessarily about my profession, about everything, because personal and professional do have this autonomy where they do blend into each other. You can't help it. Personal work involved is personal, or work is personal. Personal is work. So because of that, there had to be an amount of higher thinking in terms of how to approach these little situations that are, that contribute to the care burn care burnout, right? So so one of the things that I am a proponent of is definitely having that me time or me thing that I do that is outside of work, which is for me is my workouts and my weightlifting, and having that program and doing that as a challenges and my goals and things like that. So that's not one thing that I do. The other thing, I haven't done it for a few years, but is again talking to someone else about the burdens of being a caregiver, not necessarily in the terms of disclosure, absolutely not. It to do with, I had a crappy day and things like that, because we're social humans. So again, I think it's very important for us to focus on the fact that self-care needs to be a very much implicit thing that happens while you're trying to do weight loss, and you're trying to deal with your kids, you're trying to deal with your work, you're trying to deal with all these things. Because again, in the prospect of you will feel like one of those frogs that they're in water, and then all of a sudden the temperature gets up, and you don't feel it until you're in crisis. Because of that, there always needs to be a checkpoint for yourself in order for you to engage. Now, I think that going back to boots, I think it was really interesting to see that in terms of how society perceives these vocations that are aligned in the care giving profession, thinking that it's all about the caregiving, it's all about the altruistic goal, without really having an idea that it is that we all have to get paid at the end of the day, because we have to have a quality of life as well in order for us to be able to continue to care. And that does include getting paid appropriately and self-care. So with that said, I think it's very important for all of us to look and investigate and take the time to find out what brings us joy. It could be knitting, it could be reading, it could be just going to the gym, it could be just finding joy. It doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be something as outrageous as taking trips. I think it has to be something achievable so you can do it continuously, right? For example, reading a book, taking Sundays off to just, smell the roses, going for a walk, because it has to be sustained over a long period of time. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next week. And I hope you have a good weekend. See you later.